For this workout, we'll need access to an elevated surface, but we're going to start just on the floor. So I want you to lie on your back, on your side, not your back, and support your head. From there, take the fetus position with your legs, and you keep your top hand on the top hip, so that you avoid the hip to drop back. So this applies in all the exercises that we're going to do from now. And from there, you straighten the top leg forward, and you start creating circles. Now, as you do that, I will encourage you to keep your heel always up towards the ceiling. The tendency is for the toes to point towards the ceiling, but we want to avoid that. We want to have the heel going towards the ceiling, and we want to make the circles as big as possible. Yeah, navel in. As I said, with your top hand, you are controlling how much your hip rotates, which ideally is very little. Last 2 repetitions here, and last one, and we reverse the circles. Same thing applies here in terms of the hip, in terms of the heel, in terms of how much we want to keep the circles big. Navel in. And last one. Perfect. And now leg forward, and you bring the leg up and down. And leg towards the back of the mat. And leg back forward, and again up and down. And as you have guessed, we repeat on the other direction. Leg forward, circles. And back. Nice. Both knees together. You lift the top heel up. You lift the knee up. Knee down, heel down. Heel, knee, knee, heel. Continue. And last one. And release. Same side. Fetus position. So knees towards your chest. Hand on the hip. Straighten your leg. Circles. Two more. Last one. Reverse. Very nice. And here, up and down. And back and start again. And leg forward, one more time. And back. And forward circles, small. And back. And release. Both knees together, lift your heel up, lift your knee up. Knee down, heel down. Continue. Halfway. And last one. And the release. For the next exercise, we will need an elevated surface. I'm going to be using a box. And from here, you're going to be placing the middle of the foot on the box and lift your hips up, contract your glutes, lift, 5 pulses, and circles, navel in, and reverse. Both feet down, sweeps, pulses, and circles. And reverse. And both feet down, lower the hips and lift. This time pulses to the inside. Pulses to the outside. Circles slightly bigger than before. And kicks towards your head. Slowly, both feet down, lift the second leg up, pulses to the inside. And pulses to the outside. And circles. And kicks towards the head. And slowly both feet down. Lower the hips and lift one more time. This time both feet stay down, pulses just with the hips. Keep the glutes contracted at all times. Toes are pointing forward. And slowly release. From there, bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips, heels or middle of the foot on the elevated surface, and lift your hips up, hold, bring your knees towards each other and open. Every time you bring your knees towards each other and you open to the maximum of your flexibility. Not letting the hips drop. Last one, you hold here. And slowly you lower your hips down. From there, you're going to come out and you will move into a plank position. From here, either forearms or hands as you wish, and you drop your feet from side to side. To the center, forwards, backwards. If you want, you can stay with both feet on the floor or lift the right foot and continue forwards, backwards. And switch if you have lifted one foot. And release both feet on the floor. If you're in a straight arm, come into forearms. If you're on forearms, come into straight arms. From here, you bring one leg forward. If you're on forearms, you probably want to come into straight arms. You walk the back foot further back, staying upright as much as possible. If possible, you bring your shoulders above the hips, and then you come forward. If you feel your front knee hurting, you can bend your knee more, or you can bring some support underneath the glute of this leg. A few times forwards and back up. And release, switch sides. Walk the back foot further back. Bring your shoulders above your hips and move forwards and backwards. Last one. Release. Back into plank of your choice. Pull the navel in and release, and keep pulling the navel in and release. and come out. For the next exercise, we will be having the feet together, knees apart, and you may want to have the feet further forward if you find it is too much of a stretch for your inner thighs, or if you're flexible, you bring your feet closer to your groin. From there, place both hands down and you apply pressure. At this time, your hands are outpowering your knees, so the knees come down, and then your knees are outpowering your hands and you let your knees come up. And we're going to do that 4 more times. Knees down, knees up, and down. Keep providing resistance with your hands. Down. See if you can go a little bit lower. And last one, all the way up. Excellent. For the next exercise, we will be coming into standing. First exercise we're going to do standing. We will have the feet hip distance apart and pointing forwards, and we're going to fold forward. Now, if you can touch the floor, great. Keep your hands on the floor. If you cannot touch the floor, have the hands on an elevated surface, such as blocks. And from there, we are going to move the hands on either side of the left leg, have the right foot hover, and we'll lift the leg up. Try to keep the heels in line. So imagine you're performing this exercise in front of a wall, so you could not bring your leg further back. In the beginning, you may find that the leg does not lift much, but over time it will. Last one, you hold here. And one more set, still on the same side. And hold again. And release, both feet down. Move the hands on either side of the opposite leg and start again. Last one, you hold. And release, and one more time. And you hold. And release. Excellent. You bend your knees and you come all the way up. Feet hip distance apart, toes slightly turned out. For most people, bending the knees a little bit would be a good idea. In general, you want to get this exercise to feel in your lower back and glutes. And if you keep your knees tight, you will feel it in the hamstrings. So if you're feeling it in your hamstrings, bend your knees more. So with the knees slightly or a lot bent, hands on the pelvis, straight spine. So notice as I'm moving forward, I'm maintaining my spine straight. I don't want to round my back. So how far forward you will come depends on your flexibility. So some people will be coming somewhere here, and while others will be coming here or even further down if they are more flexible than me. So for me at the moment, straight spine is this range, and from here I maintain my hands on my lower back. If, as I said, if I feel my hamstrings, I will bend my knees more. If that's too easy for me, I will extend my arms forward. Now, if that's still very easy for me, I can bear some weight on my hands, such as 1 or 2 kilos, and that will intensify the sensation of this exercise. So from here, a relaxed neck. We don't want to feel any pressure on the neck. Shoulders back. Feel free to check yourself from the side if you have a mirror and you're maintaining your navel in. Chances are that you will be keeping your knees bent, and from there you come all the way up, contract the glutes at the top, and again you come forward. Remember, you have the option of keeping your hands on the hips throughout, and come all the way up, contract the glutes and the hinge from the hips every time you fold forward with your spine straight. Always shoulders back, always navel in, relaxed neck. And every time you come up, you contract your glutes. Keep your feet in good contact with the floor. And when I say with good contact, I mean you have contact on all three corners of your feet. You may want to grip the floor by thinking that there are two pumps underneath each of your feet and you're turning them away from each other. But, you know, this is not necessarily a cue that you may relate to. Just keep putting pressure on all three corners of your feet. Every time you come up and down, you are keeping your spine straight, and every time at the top position, you are contracting your glutes. Exaggerate the contraction of the glutes, especially at this easy version of the exercise. You want to be exaggerating the contraction of the glutes as you are progressing it to more advanced versions. Last few repetitions here. And last one, the last one, you go down and you hold. You can keep your hands on the pelvis or bring the arms out. Arms out is a little bit more challenging, and from there you go from side to side and straight spine, side to side. Last three. Last two. And last one. Back to center, bend your knees, slowly come all the way up. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this workout.